Want to stop juggling spreadsheets, calendars, and a dozen apps just to run your rentals? Logify makes it easy. It's an all-in-one toolkit for hosts. Build a direct booking website, automate guest messaging, and keep all your channels in sync. Running your rental business your way has never been simpler. And for Good Morning Hospitality listeners, you can get 20% off any yearly plan with code GMH20. Just check the link in the show notes to get started today.
Welcome to Good Morning Hospitality, your one-stop shop for the latest news, noteworthy trends, and thought-provoking discussions across the industry. From hotels to short-term rentals to all things travel and hospitality, you'll find each episode equips you with the information that you need to start your week. Join us on Good Morning Hospitality every Wednesday, wherever you get your podcasts. Well, good morning.
Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, everybody.
It's
I'm
nice.
feeling good.
Yeah.
I'm feeling energized this morning. I've changed the way I'm
feeling
eating.
Very
working out,
cool.
feeling good.
Okay. Into
Yeah.
that new year, new vibe energy, huh?
Yeah, I had to start off the year the new way. I was like, man, after the holidays, I was like looking in the mirror, I was like, who's this guy? I don't recognize this guy. We need to get back in shape here.
Oh man, that's what life is. It's always a series of check-ins. So whether it's like, hey, checking in, figuring out, what you're eating, what you're drinking, what you're doing with your work, all of that. It's always healthy to do it. So good for you.
Yeah, I feel good. Dry January, getting in the gym, pushing some steel around, getting this chassis a little stronger.
Yeah. Oh damn.
All right.
Well, we are bringing that early morning energy.
Early morning energy today.
I mean, maybe not that early for you. You just got that morning energy.
Morning.
I have the early
mid-morning energy over here.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Hey, for everybody that is joining us live, let us know where you're joining us from. I'm back in Los Angeles. So
I want to see who's watching us from furthest away. That's what I like to see. That's always cool to see which countries are watching.
Ooh, always exciting. So while people are kind of hopping on and joining us, let's talk about your book.
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready.
You have a copy right next to you? I realize my copy is not in arm's reach. It's
Hospitality Unlocked.
Boom.
The advice, strategies, and insider secrets from 75 of the world's top hospitality leaders. Available now on Amazon, paperback and hardcover and Kindle.
Love it. By the way, so excited and proud of you. I love the formatting of it. I was taking a peek. It looks great. What do you feel like your biggest lessons were from doing that book?
There's two. So there's lessons in the book.
Yeah.
The actual lesson of making the book is like, you just have to grind it out. Like there's days where you're excited to do it and get down there and start writing stuff. And then there's other days where I was talking to you. I was like, man, it's been sitting there for a month and I have not done one thing with it. But it was my goal. And then, I talked to you a little bit about it. Some others I had books, but you really guided me. It was really like, once it's out there now. And now people are buying it every day. And I see 4 or 5 a day. I'm like, wow, this is so cool. And people sharing it now that I don't know. Right. And so that's something that I did not expect to make me feel, how do I say, like just grateful. Like, wow, like people actually care and they're sharing quotes and they're sharing the book with others. Like it's such a cool vibe because when I was doing it, I was like, who cares about this? No one's going to care. I remember I told you, I was like, it's terrible.
People care.
This is the worst book ever.
Oh my gosh, I love this. Because that's the whole thing. The process of doing a book, it is a beast. It is a beast. It is so hard. But I think the coolest thing is, again, as you said, seeing when people get it, they read it, what resonates with them. And that's awesome.
And then some schools or like professors are recommending it. So they wrote to me, a couple of professors at different schools saying, hey, we recommend it to our students. I'm like, wow, this is wild to see that this is getting out there now. And it was nerve wracking because I didn't share it with anybody on purpose. I didn't want to hear everyone's opinion because I started to share it like with my family and they all had opinions. Like,
everybody has
agree
opinions
with that opinion. Right. And I'm just like, let me get this thing done. Let me put it out there.
Yep.
And one tip I want to give everybody is just print out the book and then look through it.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't do it that way. Like I looked at everyone individually. So I had 75 experts, put them together. And I was like, I use a lot of the same words. for everybody.
Oh,
And so I had to go back and change it last minute after I had already announced the date that it was coming out, and Amazon had already approved it. So I had to make changes. And there's a lot of little things in there that I will do differently next time.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's all a work in progress. It's a big thing. The big lesson also is that people are forgiving.
Yep.
As you kind of figure it out, whatever. I mean, I found typos after the fact, and I'm like,
Yep.
oh.
There's a font difference on one of the pages that no one will notice except for me. And then there's
It's crazy. It is so crazy. It is really challenging to do, and it's like I had to really put like my ego to the side and be like, okay, I don't, like it's a big feat in and of itself. Like, and I mean, I had so many people review it, and I don't know how we all missed the, whether it's the typo or the flipping of a word or whatever it is. So
there's a lot. But what I would say about this, and thank you for bringing it up because I didn't know we were going to chat about it, is that I love that I still use it now. I wrote it, and now I'm flipping through it because it's made to like just kind of get you motivated. And I really wrote it for myself. And so I like quotes, and we use quotes on our show. So, all right, this guy said that. He went through that. I can get through this too.
Yeah.
Or, wow, that's some good motivation. That's a good idea. Let me work on that. And then another insider secret, it says 75, but there's actually 76. So I'll give you some extra value.
Whoa. Okay.
I snuck someone in last minute, and I couldn't change it to 76. So there's an extra bonus in there.
You could just, did you call it? Well, I have to look. I'll look at it because I have it downstairs.
No one will notice. There's no one counting. Like, let me see how many names are in here.
You'll be surprised.
So there's an extra one. Someone I snuck in who I value a lot.
Oh, that's cool. I love that. Yeah, that's great. Well, we'll definitely need to keep sharing the link to the book and all that. Yeah. Love Stephen Sinclair joining us. Always a fan. Suburbs of Chicago.
Woo, he's got your book. I will send you. I need to get you a signed book, Stephen Sinclair.
We will make that happen. Books. I'm sure. All right. Why don't we go ahead and get started on some interesting topics?
Because we got some good stuff today.
Yeah. The first one in the world of hotels, Starwood Hotels. Remember them? Making a comeback. The iconic Starwood Hotels brand is set to return to the hospitality scene. And pretty much after being acquired and phased out by Marriott, Starwood is pretty much being revived, looking to kind of cater to a niche market. And really, it's looking to be pretty interesting. I don't know. I'm kind of excited for it. I mean, obviously people love the brand.
Yeah, I'm shocked that Marriott would allow them to use the Starwood name again.
There must be a loophole because I was thinking that too. I was like, really? This is
because Barry Sternlicht is the guy who created Starwood. He's an amazing hospitality legend, would say. Like, he created Starwood from nothing.
By the way, and he's the current chairman of SH Hotels, so like One Hotels, etc.
And so now Starwood is going to wrap up SH and all the other brands that they're doing. So that's how it's going to really take off, because now they have a good base. They're going to revive Starwood. I don't know all the details yet, but I'm trying to find some out because we know a lot of people working in those brands. And so really now I'm curious to see what they do, because I really am surprised that they would allow them to use Starwood. Maybe there's just like a certain amount of time they couldn't use that name, or he bought the rights to it again.
That's what I was thinking.
And hopefully he'll build it back up and then sell it back to Marriott again. See what happens. But he created the W, like he's, he created at Westin, the Heavenly Beds. Like, he's done all these things to really push the industry forward. So he knows what to do. He created the One Hotel brand, Barry Sternlicht, right? He knows how to create brands and get them up and running and get them to grow. He knows how to put people in place, like our friend Raul Leal.
Yes.
Now building up SH.
Love that.
They know what to do. So this is huge news. I'm really interested to see what they create.
Yeah. Oh, completely. It's going to be really interesting. I mean, it was a very loved brand and people were into it. I know people felt very strongly when it was, acquired. So cool. It'll be very, very interesting to see how it all plays out. But this was definitely
I was so surprised. But,
waves across the industry.
And there's a lot of diehard people because it was two different brands. I remember when they merged.
Yeah.
It was like a huge thing because
and
brands
then the
were like,
status.
I don't want to be like a Marriott, or I don't agree with Starwood. And I remember because I was in the hotel that got taken over, and I was like, oh, this is weird. Like, which side do you go with? And it was like the Starwood people and the Marriott people.
Yeah, right.
We do things this way. So I'm curious to see what happens now.
Wow, everything comes full circle.
Yeah, if any of you are listening, did you work for Starwood at any point in the past? I'd be curious to see.
Yeah,
Starwood people out there.
I definitely remember when it was going down, but I wasn't working for either property.
Your peninsula, right? Probably back.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Putting it together, your resume.
I know, putting it together. Exactly. That's awesome. So yeah, let us know your thoughts. Stay tuned on that, and we'll definitely be closely monitoring.
We'll be sharing more. It's exciting.
Talk about big splash. So okay, no show. I feel like we can't do a show in 2025 without talking about AI. that might be happening almost every week. So ChatGPT, they have an interesting new feature, and you can now search for and book travel. They've introduced this new feature called Operator, and it's basically this AI agent capable of performing tasks online, such as booking trips, buying groceries, and more. Now, that's just a little teaser here. Steve actually played around with it. So Steve, talk to us about this.
All right, listeners and viewers, I invested $200 last night. It's $200 a month to use this to see what it would do. And I actually have it running right now on my other screen to book us a flight from JFK to Los Angeles tomorrow in the morning. And it's currently on booking.com. And it looks like someone's using a mouse to go on the screen and is doing it as I'm talking to you, selecting the dates, looking at options, and it's going to present it all to me here shortly. So I wish I would share the screen next time, but I will.
Oh my gosh, yes, next time, please do.
I'll share it with you after because it's doing it like a person would do. And it's kind of freaky because it just goes on your screen. So you open up your browsers, you use Operator, you give it a task of anything. Since we're talking about travel, we're doing travel.
Yeah.
It opens your screen and it starts going through. So I'm looking off to my peripheral of different screens jumping in and out of the frame. And it's pretty wild to see how it's working. So it's pretty interesting what's happening. And I'm seeing from Will, he said I could share my screen. And maybe you want to see what it's doing? I'm happy.
Yeah. Please share. This is crazy stuff.
Share my screen here. Let's make sure I don't have anything top secret going.
I don't think you do. It might also just be your browser, maybe.
So here is what it's doing.
Okay.
It's going through, and you see it kind of making. Hold on. It's filtering for direct flight options. So it tells you how it's thinking and what it's doing, and it starts doing it. Like I'm not touching this at all.
Oh wow! It's just like going through. It's having a whole conversation. Okay.
Yeah. Would you like me to book these flights? Yes, I want you to book these flights.
Did you give it these? Oh, which flight? I was about to say it's going to ask you which flight. It gave you three options.
Number 3.
Look, see, I'm as smart as AI.
Yeah, you are. You see? And so now it's thinking and going in to booking.com.
This is wild.
I'm not touching anything. Okay. And so it's doing its thing, looking at what it's got to do. And it sends me a message. The JetBlue flight departing from JFK and arriving at 12:50 is available for 3:52. Includes a personal item and carry-on. Should I proceed with this booking? Yes. I don't have my credit card booked in there, so it might say
it's okay.
Log in.
You also, every time you book a flight, you do have 24 hours to cancel and get a full refund. Just as a friendly reminder to everybody. You're welcome.
Yeah. So again, I'm doing nothing. It's operating on the side.
That's wild.
I started it 3 minutes ago, and now it has the things here for me to select.
That's crazy.
And there you go. Which fare would you like me to choose? Let's choose. We're going first class, 4.
Yeah. Is it mint? I mean, I don't know.
But so this is what is shocking to me, right? Like this, I understand now why people pay $200 because we were talking offline. Like I used to pay a virtual assistant $35, $40, $50 an hour for projects that were pretty basic, like research. And so now you can have this assisting you at the price of $200. So now it says to complete the booking, we need to enter your traveler and contact you. Please provide the necessary information to proceed. So this is where people get a little nervous. You provide your information. Do you not? You start to log in. But it's just, that's a very basic, right? Like I can make it find me restaurant reservations. I can do other things on there. And so that was done in what, a minute and a half?
That's crazy.
Let's sitting here.
Ooh, yeah, look at the sun. Sorry.
See? And I see people kind of understanding now. And so there's another one, like I'm just using it for sales now too. Like I saw someone online last night say, hey, you could use this for sales. So I started testing it this morning saying, find me general managers that were just promoted into their role on LinkedIn. Give me their name and LinkedIn profile so I can contact them And then said, would you like me to create a personalized message to each one of them? I said, yes. And it did it. And so now I have an Excel sheet of all these people who were just promoted that I may use for something down the road. But it's just, how do you think to use these things? And you have somebody working for you 24 hours. So that did it for me while I was making breakfast for my kids. And so that's where I'm thinking is like, all right, how can you start using this more and more throughout your businesses? And I'm going to be playing with it more. I blocked some time off tomorrow afternoon just to only play with this.
I love that. That is insane. I'm writing down notes because I'm already having so many ideas.
So imagine all the research awesome. You do for all your clients. Like this can just help you get you ideas at least and narrow down things quickly versus you searching for 1,000 things.
Crazy. So cool. You guys, let us know. Have you played around with this?
It's pricey, but I was like, it's an investment. So you can always cancel it at the end of the month. But for $200, get on the wave of the future here. Understand what you're competing against because you're competing against people who have this. You're going to have hospitality companies using this to be ahead of the curve. Mm-hmm. And this is just the beginning. It just came out this week.
And that's the whole thing is that it is the beginning. And I'm almost like a loss of words. It's going to be very interesting. Sometimes you get a little bit caught up and
technology happens quick. Cool. There's some things that are good. Yeah. Some things that are just, all right, that's the gimmick. But I think now is for $200, it just replaced a lot of people, which I hate to say out loud. Like, I see it now. This shocked me watching it operate on its own on my screen. Let's see what happens.
Right? Whew. Interesting stuff. So I'm actually going to be playing. Now that you said that, I'm going to carve out some time, if not later today, tomorrow. To actually, I have to do it later today because I need help with stuff. So I'm like,
if anyone that has a business that you're the middle person because you are helping save someone time, right? Which we do a lot of. You are now at risk, and so I would advise all of you if you're one of those middle people helping people save time. Focus on it because like my kids now, like I'm not going to tell them to go study coding or to be an accountant or there's just so many things now that this will do for people. So anyhow, I just think hopefully this will do all the work for us and we can go be artists and creatives and think about stuff like in the Renaissance, right? Let's see what happens.
Totally. This is crazy. I love it. Oh my gosh. All right. You guys, let us know. Keep us posted when you play around on it. So there's so much more to come. I told you every week we're going to be talking about more and more AI.
You got a fan over here. So
yeah, for sure. No, I'm a fan too. Okay. Let's go ahead and talk about travel. Some interesting things. This is kind of fun. I actually did a TV segment on this, maybe like a year and a half ago. Debunking popular flight booking hacks. So this was pretty neat. This was actually an article in Travel and Leisure. And basically there are these booking hacks that people think are the best way to save money and they don't necessarily work. For example, people would say before like, instead of buying on Tuesday or like you buy on Tuesday for the best rate and this and that. I always say is like the best time to find a deal is when you find it, and so but some key takeaways. It's now booking a flight on certain days is considered a myth. And then they actually, people are saying, and this is a great tip, experts are now saying that you should set fare alerts and be flexible, which we always know, be flexible with travel dates to really find the best deals. So flexibility of when you're traveling is obviously huge, but you can do fare alerts, which is really kind of interesting. So I don't know. Do you do that, by the way, when you book?
Yeah, so I just booked a flight to Buenos Aires. So going down there, I've been like waiting and seeing and set up the alerts. And then finally got the alert that it had dropped a little bit using Skyscanner. And then I went back to my AI tool and said, hey, I have American Express points. Where can I get the most value for these American Express points booking on these flights? And it explained to me the best way to use my points to get the most value.
Stop.
And I booked that way. So booked my flight with those tips. And had the Skyscanner alert me, got my points to give me the most from American Express, and booked our flight for our family.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
I know. It's just things happening quickly. So use these tools, people. We're talking about them. But I agree. I always would look, and I'm always trying to find the best deal because it is so expensive to fly, especially with a family now. it is an investment to go places. So
yeah. So interesting. So they actually Expedia put together Air Hacks for 2025, and they have their Air Hacks Air Hacks report of 2025, which is kind of pretty interesting. So maybe we should share that link. Actually, I'll share that link.
I think that would be good for it. But was there any ones that stood out that you see there?
Again, they also kind of talk about, I'm just like scrolling through the page. They do talk about book on a Sunday. They do say that it is a savings up to 8% compared to booking on a Friday. Fascinating. Travel on a Thursday. That kind of makes sense. I normally look at Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays when I go. And then sometimes I also look at returns on Saturdays. But you can save up to 15% just by shifting the days by just a little bit. They say, this I find interesting. They say, so what month do you think is the most expensive month to travel?
December?
No, March.
Spring break.
Yeah. And then the cheapest month, which is kind of interesting.
September?
August. Yeah. It's kind of that, which I actually have seen in August. So, yeah, pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah, everyone kind of starts going back to school in August. Yeah. Out of school, in school.
Totally. Yeah. So it's an interesting mix of people that are traveling up.
Yeah, my whole life now, people don't realize, like my brothers that don't have kids, is like you make trips when the kids are out of school, and you don't go when they're in school. It's just and then generally when kids are out of school, flights are more expensive. Yeah, because everybody else is doing that. Parks, all hotels, beaches. Totally. That's why travel is so great for those who are retired. Because they can have more of that flexibility and they can go in those times where it may not be as busy and all of that, because they don't have traditional jobs and other schedules that are kind of confining them. There you go. Check it out. Oh, look at the technology we got here. The behind the scenes producer. Amazing. Highly interactive show today. All right. We got some other topics. I want to be mindful of the time. So Spirit Airlines. Oh, love this of them. Spirit Airlines is trying to raise the bar and not service standards, but with new passenger dress codes. By the way, I do not think that this is something that they should be worried about, but here we go. So they have updated their new passenger policies, prohibiting certain items of clothing and requiring passengers with specific types of body art to cover up. So basically, they're now banning see-through clothing, which is ridiculous, and attire that adequately covers body parts. Also, passengers displaying body art deemed lewd, obscene, offensive may be denied boarding. And these are now part of the contract agreed upon during ticket purchase, which, okay, that aside, I don't read I book flights all the time. I've never read the fine print as far as how I have to behave or show up. Yeah, but are you showing up with see-through shirts for everybody? I mean, wouldn't everybody like to know? No. Yeah. Right. So I don't think you're the person to read it, but look, being in Miami and Miami Beach, I see crazy things every Friday and Saturday. Yeah. On the beach of things that you don't want your kids to see, right? Yeah. I grew up in that, and you just don't realize that that's part of what's going on. And there are some ratchet people out there. Like, get yourself together. Like, we don't want to see all of that stuff going on. I just think it's funny that a ratchet airline came up with the ratchet. That's too ratchet for us. That's what's going on. And so, everyone deserves to do what they like, but they got to respect the community here. We're a community as a whole. Yeah. Not everything you like should be done for others to see. And so I understand maybe what they're trying to do. I get it. But it's hard to enforce. And I just know from being at a resort and a hotel, like you and I talk about, like people walking around in robes and showing up to breakfast with a thong on and walking around when everyone's having breakfast. And usually the people that do that are the ones that you don't want to see that. Yes, always. It's always the case, right? There's always somebody forever. There's someone for everyone, right? Anyhow, I get what they're trying. It's not going to go well because they will try to enforce it with somebody, and then they're going to film it and say that it was my weight, my race, my gender, my religion, my tattoo, whatever it might be. It's going to be interesting to see how they do it. And I feel bad for the team that has to enforce it, but I'm wishing you all the best. Yeah, it's going to be tricky, but we'll see. We'll see how people end up responding. I mean, it's just... Well, I do have my fishnet T-shirt that I wear.
Stop.
So.
It better be neon and glow in the dark. That is all I'm saying. Oh my gosh, that's what they should do. No, they should absolutely not do that. But I was going to say they should put like black lights and have everybody wear neon. And then it's like, nobody needs to have any black light stuff happening on a plane. What? It's crazy. Right?
I agree with you.
I mean,
good luck, Spirit. I wish you the best. I hope it works.
Yes. Good luck, Spirit. Very good luck. All right. Well, another airline, JetBlue, and I have some JetBlue stories. They are now accepting Venmo payments, which is kind of interesting. So they're the first airline to accept Venmo as a payment option for flights. So basically, when you're booking your flight, normally where you can put in your credit card, Apple Pay, whatever, they soon you're going to be able to, you can use Venmo, and then soon now on your phone you'll be able to use that to purchase flights. So they're trying to simplify. It's interesting. There are a couple people I know that keep a good chunk of change in their Venmo accounts. I know people that use Venmo accounts almost like a bank account, which I have so many.
Interesting. It
makes me uncomfortable because I feel like, is your money actually protected? But yeah, I mean, people have money.
I get it. Yeah, that makes sense. Like I have, when I do my events, I allow people to pay via Venmo live in person, and I have money just kind of sitting in there. But
tipping and like other stuff that people do, like sharing, getting paid back. Some people also look at their Venmo accounts as their it's like their fun account. It's like money that they don't really think about, So it's like, oh, it's like I didn't lose this money anyway because they'd already paid out for something or whatever it is. So it's actually kind of smart what they're doing.
I like it because it allows me to pay for using my business credit card on things that people usually don't accept credit card on. And so that's what I use for, like my office rent and some other things. Like people allowed me to do that. So
yeah, no, definitely interesting. I will just say this about JetBlue. Love this move. Mint. I booked some flights for somebody last week on Mint. Family of 4 could choose all 4 of the seats going out. On the return, I could only choose seats for 2 of the individuals. The other 2, they were like, oh, they can get their seat assigned at the airport. And I'm like, this is your premium cabin. Why can they not choose theirs? First of all, I'd almost understand if it was like that for the whole group, but only 2 were allowed to select seats, and the other 2 had to just find out when they got there. Now, of course, they're like, oh, but they're family, so we'll do our best to keep them together. And it was all in their Mint cabin. So there isn't really a bad seat in the house, but it was so bizarre to me. Like, if you were basically paying for a business or a first class equivalent, you don't want to play seat roulette, right? But by the way, I will say this, JetBlue is not the only one that's doing
more and more.
British Airways on their business class, I had to fight for seats for another client of mine. Thank goodness we did code share with American. They had a lot of American points. We were able to kind of like backtrack the system. But I'm like, we're paying for a business class seat. Like, give them a seat.
Choose my seats, yes.
So weird to me. Or if you're going to be cheap and be like, oh, you can choose it, but you have to pay more money for it. That just seems weird. It's just like bake it in. So bizarre.
I agree with you. Especially now, like you can't choose your seats unless you go to the next price up on the ticket. Then we allow you to choose seats.
Yeah. No.
So like, all right, what am I supposed to do with my kids? Like, sorry, good luck in the front. We'll see you later.
Totally. It's so crazy. So yeah. Anyway, let us know if you are seeing that. If you've encountered any of those situations, it's kind of wild. Wait, do we have time for a quick real-time recap?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Perfect. You want to go first?
Let's think about this. Where did I go over the weekend? I'm losing track here. I have one.
Yes.
We talked about my book, Hospitality Unlocked. It's not here, but I went to a place called Postman's Books. I'm a big thing about bookstores right now. And it just opened up in downtown Miami where there are no bookstores. And it's just an amazing place. They're so friendly in there. They you walk in, they ask you what you're looking for. They kind of show you some options, and they do it all in person for you, even though it's busy in there. And I like the vibe. They got the music right. They got the smell right. They got the books around.
Oh, that's nice.
Good job. So you find hospitality in places that are not hotels or restaurants or cruises. I always love seeing that. So shout out to Postman Books in Miami.
Oh, that is cool. That's great. Again, there's hospitality everywhere, just depending on if you're looking for it or not. I was in New York for those that followed along my adventures. I feel like every week is a new adventure, guys. And I stayed at a Courtyard Marriott right by the Javits Center. And I didn't necessarily have high expectations just because it was where, the show put me up, all that. And they were great. Not only was their service awesome, the rooms were fantastic. I mean, I definitely did. I did not have high expectations, and it was a really phenomenal property to the point that I'm like, oh, I would completely come back and stay here again. Every single person was just, they were really nice, very helpful. Speaking of books, I had a bunch of books. I had to receive a bunch of books. I had to send a bunch of books home. So that was always, I was like, oh God, like, please tell me that they're going to be able to help and all of that. Thank goodness, because I didn't want to have to lug around 30 books around the city.
Mm-hmm.
But shout out to the team over there at the Courtyard Marriott in Midtown West. Yeah.
Very
and
nice.
Pro tip, get a room with an empire view. I could literally look at the Empire State Building from my bed. It was fantastic.
You see, it's not always a luxury hotel. Like, we were lucky enough to visit some of these ultra luxuries, and sometimes those, the standard, just great place to stay. Yeah. And they do a great job in there.
Oh,
good job.
Totally. Yeah, I definitely am not opposed to that at all. So always a fun time. Okay. Hospitality quote. Do we have it ready to roll? Would you like to start this?
There is no hospitality like understanding, by Vana Bonta. If I said that right. Vana Bonta?
Vana Bonta. I'll take it.
Right.
I like that. There's no hospitality like understanding.
How does that hit you? When it hits your ear, what do you think about?
I love that, because when you think about hospitality, it's all about connection. And what's the root of connection? You're having this understanding with somebody. You're understanding whether it's their way of thinking, who they are, what they need. And it really boils down to the root of what it is. So, to me, it makes me feel like hospitality is feeling understood. Exactly. So I love that.
Well, there you go. Well, I understand we've come to the end of our show today. And it's been a pleasure hanging out with all of you out there today. We covered a lot. I'm excited to play more with this AI operator.
Yeah. We should both report back next week.
I think so. Sign up today, Sarah. Let's keep giving OpenAI our money. But I want to see how we can use this to stay ahead and teaching everybody and making sure we know what's going on out there.
Definitely. Well, until next time, we will be...
We'll be AIing. So stay hospitable, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Want to stop juggling spreadsheets, calendars, and a dozen apps just to run your rentals? Logify makes it easy. It's an all-in-one toolkit for hosts. Build a direct booking website, automate guest messaging, and keep all your channels in sync. Running your rental business your way has never been simpler. And for Good Morning Hospitality listeners, you can get 20% off any yearly plan with code GMH20. Just check the link in the show notes to get started today.